Hello again, it's me, Mrs. Lehman. I'm here doing review session 7 today, and these questions are from 2018, the New York State Grade 6 math test, and actually I've included a few from 2017 because we've covered all of the 2018 released questions after this one. So anyway, the first question here says which expression is equivalent to 60 minus 3y minus 9? So when it's asking for two equivalent expressions, it means which ones have the same value. Okay, so this question tests kids' ability to combine like terms. So when you combine like terms, numbers can be added and subtracted with other numbers, obviously. And when it comes to variables, in order for them to be added or subtracted, they have to have the exact same set of variables attached. So in this example, 60 and minus 9, those can be combined because they're both just numbers. So 60 minus 9 is 51, right? And then we still have minus 3y. These two cannot be combined because 51 does not have a y attached, all right? So those are not the same. This question also tests your understanding of the distributive property. So over here on the far right of the screen, I'm going to show you the distributive property. So essentially what the distributive property says using variables, it says that you have to take this outside term and multiply it by all of the terms on the inside. So A times B would be AB plus, and I got that right from this right here, I'm circling it. And then you multiply the outside term by the C as well, so AB plus AC. Those would be equivalent expressions. So if I were to change those to numbers, let's try something not given here. Let's do 5 times the quantity 6x plus 7. Right? So if we did 5 times 6x, that would give us 30 copies of x plus 5 times 7 is 35. And again, this 35 is just 35 without any variable attached, so we cannot combine that with 30 copies of x. All right, so here we go. Let's try this question. So we're looking for one of these 4 choices, A, B, C, or D, to equal 51 minus 3y. So if we distribute this 3, we'd have 3 times 17. Well, if you go ahead and do that math, you're going to get 51. And then 3 times y. So I need to take this minus right here, this subtraction sign, and put it next, and then 3 times y would be 3y. So 51 minus 3y is our answer, or is the same expression, so that's our answer. Choice B, let's look at this one. We would do 3 times 20, which is 60, and then minus, because we have this minus sign, 3 times y, which would be 3y, and then minus 3. Well, if you take 60 minus 3, you're going to get 57 minus 3y, which does not equal 51 minus 3y. So that is not the correct answer. This next one, again, same concept. You're going to get 51 minus 17y, which is, again, not what we're looking for. When you do this next one, D, 20 times 3 would be 60 minus 20 times 3y, which would be 60y minus 9. And if you combined the like terms, 60 minus 9 would be 51 minus 60y. And that, again, is not what we're looking for. The correct choice is A. All right, let's move on to question 2. This one's a pretty easy question. A grocery store sells a bag of 5 lemons for $2. What is the unit cost of each lemon in the bag? So unit price, and this kind of explains it in the problem, means how much for one of these items. So we want the price per lemon, right? So to set that up, we're going to put $2 for every 5 lemons. And as you remember from Module 1, this fraction bar right here means division. So we're taking 2 and dividing it by 5. If you take 2 and divide it by 5, I can show you how this is done. Bring up that decimal point directly. 5 does not go into 2, but it goes into 24 times. That gives you 20. You do all this good stuff. you get 40 cents per lemon, right? Choice A doesn't make any sense because if you had 5 lemons that are $2.50 each, there's no way you're going to pay $2, right, if 1 lemon's more than that. 60 cents, that would be $3 for 5 of those lemons, and 10 cents each, you know, that would only cost you 50 cents. So hopefully you have no problem with this type of question. Let's look at number 3. It says a triangle QRS with vertices Q, R, and S is drawn inside a rectangle as shown below. So quick thing, the word vertice means where 2 lines meet. It's the point at which they meet. So it's saying these points. All right, so we've got Q, R, and S there, and they're probably going to ask us something about the area. Yep. What is the area, in square units of course, of the triangle? So we know the area formula for a triangle is area equals base times height divided by 2, or area equals 1/2 base times height. So this is something we are learning in Module 5. So that's all fine and good if you can clearly see that the height and base are perpendicular to one another, and that you can measure the height and base with horizontal or vertical units here. Now in this case, you know, the height would be right there. Now we can't in 6th grade determine that distance, so really your option is what I call the ice carving method. So they already drew the rectangle for you, so that was really nice of them. And what we're going to do is essentially find the area of this entire blue rectangle, and then we're going to find the area of this triangle on the side. So we're going to subtract away this area, and we're going to subtract away the area up here of that triangle, and subtract away the area here of this triangle on the bottom left. And what you're left with is just the area of that triangle RSQ. All right, so, or QRS. So we're going to get started by first of all measuring the distance between points here. So we have to find the area of our rectangle first. So we know that's length times width, or for all parallelograms, base times height. So in this case, it's really hard to see on the smartboard, so I apologize. But from here to here, I believe that's 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4 units across. So we're going to use a base of 4. The height goes from 7 to 2, or I'm sorry, -7 to -2. So that is 5 units. So it's again hard to see here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units there. So we know that this area of the rectangle alone is 20 inches squared. Now I'm actually surprised that's not a choice. All right. So what we need to do is pick a triangle to do, and then we are going to subtract that away from this. Actually, what I'm going to do is find the area of all of these 3 triangles, and then add those together, because that's the total amount we don't need, and then subtract. So let's look at this red triangle first. Okay, so in this red triangle, we've got 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, that's 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so area formula for a triangle is base times height divided by 2. We said that is 3 high and 4 wide divided by 2. So you get 12 divided by 2, which equals 6 cubic inches there. I'm sorry, square inches, not cubic inches, square inches. And then, so that's for what I will call triangle 1. Triangle 2, we'll do right here. All right, area equals base times height divided by 2. The base distance is 2. The height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divided by 2. You're going to get 10 divided by 2, which equals 5 inches squared. So then we just have one more to do. Triangle 3 right here. So that is 2 units wide, but we know our formula is base times height divided by 2. So we have 2 by a height of 2 as well, divided by 2, and you're going to get 4 divided by 2, which is equals 2 inches squared. So if we take 5 inches squared, 2 inches squared, that gives us 7 inches squared plus 6. 7 plus 6 is 13 inches squared. So a lot of kids are going to pick that as their answer, which is the wrong answer, because that is just the area of those side triangles. We still have to take it from what I'm circling in green right now, the 20 inches. So we need to take inches, not inches, these would be units, I apologize. So units squared for all of these. So anyway, if we had 20 units squared, and we are subtracting out 13 units squared, you would end up with 7 square units, or 7 units squared. So the correct answer is choice A, 7 units squared. Choice C, again, is really kind of the trap answer here. You would have some kids, I'm sure, doing some other crazy stuff. I'm not quite sure where they're getting those answers, but it's probably best we don't know. So anyway, you find the area of that whole rectangle and then subtract out what you don't need. All right, so we have one more question. I know I'm over time, but we'll get this done. This one's a really easy one. All right, so it says points F and G have been plotted on the coordinate plane below. And again, it's really difficult to see, I apologize. Point G and point H are the same distance from point F. So we don't see H on here, but we know point F. A lot of kids are looking at this going, well, it's that far away, right? Well, in 6th grade, we have to count units horizontally and vertically, right? So we know this is a total of 1, 2, 3 units away. So which coordinates could be the location of point H? So we've got to plot these points and figure out, is it 3 units away? So let me scroll up a little bit. So they're from point F. So 1, 2. Now if we're going from point F, that's 1, 2. Yeah, that's not going to be 3 units away, so it's not choice A. B says 4, 2. So 4, 2 is right there. That's only 1 unit away, right? So that's a distance of 1. That's not what we need. 5, 1 is right here. Let me erase some of this other stuff because it's getting hard to see. F right here is 1, 2, 3 units away from that one. So 5, 1 is our answer. The smartboard really does not want to work. So 5, 1 right there. And then if we were to test out this last one, choice D, it'd be 2, 5, which 2, 5 is way up here. From point F, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 units away. So that's too far away. We're looking at choice C, 5, 1, which is 3 jumps away from F. All right. I do have a challenge question for my students today. And the challenge question is, I wrote it down here, it says, write down both formulas for volume of a rectangular prism. So we learned the volume formula, but there's another way of writing it if they've already done a certain calculation for you. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to watch those other videos. This is review video 7, review session 7. I have 1 through 6 available too. So make sure you're watching. Thanks again. Bye.